So today actually marks my 1-year anniversary from my first flight ever as a flight attendant.
That's a special day.
It is.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's dope. Okay. Yo, what's up guys? Khordmaster here, and in today's episode of Khordmaster Keys, I had a chance to talk to my friend Golda, who is a flight attendant and dancer and hairstylist, and she's a dope person, and I think you guys will really enjoy the conversation. So let me know if you do, or let me know if you don't in the comments below. Peace. What was little Golda like? What were you like growing up?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, hitting you with the good ones to start.
Well, I am the firstborn Filipino American amongst 33 first cousins in America.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so my family always working during the daytimes. I have an older brother. So growing up, it was a little, didn't really have much direction because I really was like the only one here.
Okay.
I was more of a quiet kid.
Okay.
I remember in kindergarten, my mom and teacher had a parent-teacher conference, and the teacher was just like, "Does your daughter speak at home?"
At all?
Yeah, because I was very quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I was just more of like a very quiet, reserved type of kid. I enjoyed the outdoors. I spent my summers in the Philippines, like the 2-3 months, like in elementary school.
Okay, back with family and stuff.
Back with family.
Sure.
But when I'm out here, it's more of like, okay, what do I do?
Right.
Who am I? Like, how do I live? But I was definitely, I'd say I was a fun kid. But didn't really know much.
Gotcha. Didn't know much. That's you've been too hard on yourself.
Yeah. Not really.
Not really. That's
just honest.
That's the perspective. I gotcha. Okay. So when did you get into dance? I know you're an amazing dancer. What age around did you kind of have an interest in that?
4 years old.
4 years. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely was an active kid. That's for sure.
Okay.
My mom wanted to be a dancer when she was young, but you know, she didn't have that opportunity, so she passed it to me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, started out doing ballet and tap. Then jazz came along, and then did a little point, tried a little gymnastics here and there. And then it wasn't until college I decided to join a hip hop dance company. And that's where my opportunity to really like see the world more happened, because I was traveling and dancing all at the same time. Yeah. That's
dope. Do you have like a favorite form of dance, one that like spoke to you the most, that you like truly enjoy more than others?
I definitely say being like more of a street jazz, hip hop dancer is more my thing.
Okay. Very cool. And so about you being a flight attendant now, like when did you start that, first of all, and like what has that experience been like?
So today actually marks my 1-year anniversary from my first flight ever as a flight attendant.
That's a special day.
It is.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's dope. Okay. And where was your first flight ever? Where was that, and were you extraordinarily nervous?
A little nervous. Having little nerves is good.
Definitely.
In anything you do, anything new.
Agreed.
I was being based in DC for 6 months for probation from the airlines. So it was from DC to New Jersey, and then New Jersey to Orlando, Florida. And I will guarantee my first flight ever is very memorable.
Oh boy, let's hear that story.
So usually when you have like a DC flight, it's more of, you have like your government officials, the flight's a little more, you know, at ease.
Right.
But once you get to the New Jersey, New York area, you got all the personalities out here.
Gotcha.
So I was working the front of the aircraft. Next to the lead flight attendant, you have the pilots coming in.
Sure.
As people were boarding the plane, when you think Orlando flights, you think Disney flights.
Sure.
You think it's vacation time, it's July.
Sure.
Florida itself as well, it's like you also have a lot of like the Florida personalities coming on board. You got Jersey personalities. Yeah, from that Jersey flight, Jersey to Orlando, I had a combative passenger on board.
Oh boy, your first one. Huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
on my first day.
So what made them combative? They were just.
Person was, they were injured. They had like a cast on their leg.
Yeah.
A mother accidentally bumped into the person. She was just trying to get to her seat, but you know, these spaces in these airplanes are so tight. It's inevitable.
Sure.
You can accidentally bump into somebody. You can say sorry. You cannot. But the mother was actually very apologetic.
Right.
But the person who got hit, you know, we don't know if they were intoxicated. We don't know if you're loopy from your medication. We can't be the judge of that.
Sure.
But, you know, they chose violence immediately.
Horrible.
Started cursing in the plane. Wouldn't get off the plane. But we're also living in a world of social media where it's like, okay, cameras are all out because this person is yelling in the plane, so we can't just drag this person out. So the person for the person to cooperate, we had to have the whole plane get out of their seat, leave the airplane, and then they cooperated and left. While the cops came, they're banned from flying the plane ever again, you know.
Ever? Yeah, is that
yeah.
right? Wow.
From the company. You know, it's just irrational behavior for
100%.
and especially after 9/11, the New York, New Jersey area, they don't tolerate any type of, you know, anything that can cause any type of disruption.
100%.
The demeanor and the attitudes change, you know.
100%.
Yeah.
And we talked earlier, so you talked about how amazing your trip to Paris was.
Yes.
I've never been, but tell me a little bit more about, like, you know, what that was like. You talked about Ratatouille and how amazing that was.
Yeah, such a beautiful, beautiful country. From what I've experienced so far, my hotel was next to the Eiffel Tower.
Oh,
You know, you had to see that.
Of course.
You know, everybody somehow knew English, but I didn't really know too much French. So I was just like, you know what, maybe that's a wake-up call for me to learn a little more languages for myself on my own time.
Sure.
And yeah, just seeing just historical monuments and just historical places you just see in movies and everything, just to be in the presence of it was really beautiful.
That's awesome. So you also do hair.
Yes.
How long have you been doing that, and what has that experience been like for you? Do you love doing it?
I love doing hair.
Okay.
I got into hair from just simply being a receptionist at a barbershop here at Razor Sharp Barbershop in Metuchen. From there,
shout out.
Yeah. Originally I thought I could be a barber, but then I decided to put myself to hair school at the age of 26, 27.
Okay.
And then I fell in love with hair coloring.
Okay.
And there was just so much to offer.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I ended up working for a really nice salon in Morris Plains. They had like 50 hairstylists in the salon. Like I was like, oh, I'm gonna get my knowledge in hair, and it's just, it's so nice because it's like you're working your creative skills, but then you're working your human to human skills, interpersonal skills. Yeah, and there's just so much creativity that comes with it. But it came to a point where I was just like, you know what? What's next? Because in the creative world and in the artist aspect, it's like, did I plateau at some point? How can I make this like my thing for the rest of my life without feeling like it's a job? Like I think that's also the mentality with me. It's just like, I don't want to feel stuck.
Sure.
Yeah.
You want to have that level of passion throughout whatever it is that you're doing. And I guess, and I could totally relate to that. Like the moment that you don't feel like you have that is usually like my time at Verizon. I mentioned being there for 12 years. Every 3 or so years is like when I started feeling less excited. There's less to learn about the role that I'm in, and that was when it's time to kind of move on to something different. And one of the things that I kind of picked up with you from chatting with you earlier is like, that is something you're very aware of, in terms of, you're aware of, and you're also like, you're confident and comfortable with making those transitions in your life. And we also talked about how would you know what is the thing that you're amazing at and that you love doing until you actually experiment and try it out.
Yes.
And that's what you're like, you know, you're doing that right now, and that's awesome. That's commendable.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, of course, of course.
I do like to tell people I kind of like to live my life similar to this anime called Golden Boy. Have you ever heard of it?
Have not. I know about anime and stuff for sure, but Golden Boy, tell me about it.
So there's only like 7 episodes. You can find it on YouTube. But pretty much it's like about a super boy genius coming from Harvard, willingly drops out so he can try different jobs from periods at a time. Like 10 months you'll be working IT, 4 months you'll be in a ramen shop. Like next 6 months you're just doing something else, and he just travels in Japan on his bike just to try different things. And at a younger age I was just like, you know what, because I didn't really have a direction after high school, it's more of like a, I don't really want to do what my parents want me to do. You brought me to America to really just make a person of myself.
100%.
So yeah, I'm just like, you know what, I kind of like that route. Like I'm gonna figure it out. Whatever like gravitates towards me, I'll keep. Whatever doesn't work, we're on to the next. So we move forward.
There you go. That's awesome. I love that. All right, name a movie that you love.
Oh, whoops. I do love Quentin Tarantino movies. So I do love Kill Bill. A part of me is just like, you know, he only has one movie coming out left.
Oh,
Can I be in an extra in it? Yeah.
Any role you'll accept.
Anything with action.
There you go. Let me just get in there.
Yeah.
Let me get my name on those credits real quick.
Yeah. I was working at a boxing studio before COVID in the World Trade Center. So that also like ignited my martial arts love of everything. I grew up watching like heavy martial arts movies, like anything with Jackie Chan or Ip Man, like anything along those lines too. So it's just like, okay, we have Kill Bill because it's like female empowerment, and yeah, it's like, what else can I do, like in terms of like skill wise? Like, oh, some days I'll throw like knives in my backyard, or
oh, I did see some videos of that. That's so you're like channeling the stuff that you're interested in, and kind of like I don't know if free spirit is the word, but just like experimenting and trying different things out and seeing, like we said earlier, seeing what you enjoy doing. And that's just so important to do, and having like a creative outlet. You talked about hair and dance. So like from a dance perspective, because I'm a piano player, right? I play the piano extraordinarily well, if I may say so. And I love music. I love making music.
Yes.
And so from your end, is dance something that maybe after a stressful day or something like that, we'll go this way, that you feel is like brings you like peace and like de-stresses you because you're just in that element? Is that kind of what that does for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a form of self-expression. I may not dance the way I used to anymore now. Even like towards like before COVID was like happening, I was getting to that slightly like stagnant point in my dance career, dance life, where I'm just like, I don't know if I'm living up to my own expectation towards it. So it's like, it's good to have a little break.
Sure.
But now that I'm back into dancing more, I'm like freestyling more again, just on my own time.
Sure.
It's so freeing. It's just so freeing to be able to know like, I have this little artsy side of me to be able to express. That's my form of therapy on like a long day. Like, you know what? Let me just move my body. Yeah.
And like you said, the physical aspect of it too, right? Kind of getting you, like there's a physical and health benefit, I'm sure, to that as well. That can't be understated. So I've never been to the Philippines. If I were to go, and I was like, you know what? I need to eat something here that is amazing. What would you say is like the top thing that I should go for?
Well, let's see. If you like stews, we have this pork stew called sinigang with some white rice. It's like an earthy, like homemade dish that makes you feel nostalgic every time you have it if you haven't had it in a while.
Love it.
But the staples, we have our pancit, that's like the noodles, like our version of lo mein. And then we have our version of egg rolls, which is called lumpia.
Okay, those I've had before.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Very
those
cool.
are like the staple dishes to have during your holiday parties, your birthday parties.
Sure.
Like people go looking for that. Like, where's the lumpia?
Yes, I don't care about anything else right here. I just want that.
Yeah.
That's dope. Okay, very cool. When's the last time you've been to the Philippines?
I was there in May.
Oh, cool. Okay.
For
Recently.
24 hours.
For your travel, for work,
Yeah.
you were there. Okay.
No,
okay.
for pleasure.
For
actually.
pleasure. So
It
why
was
so short?
So there was a typhoon
Okay.
going on in Guam. So that actually cut days because my flight was getting canceled.
Okay.
And then the next day, the plane had maintenance issues, so they had to cancel that plane.
Gotcha.
And I was just like, you know what? As long as I can be there for my cousin's wedding,
Okay.
that's all that really matters.
Got it. So you
Yeah.
were there for a wedding, and you were planning to be there longer, but it kind of got cut
Yeah.
short. Okay.
Things change, so it's fine. You know, thankfully I'm a flight attendant now. I can go back anytime.
Right. So you mentioned anime. Do you
Yes.
have a favorite? Is Golden Boy or Golden Boy? You said, right?
Yeah.
Is that your favorite or?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite. Definitely sparked
Okay.
like my lifestyle.
Yeah. Most impactful. in
Yes.
your life. Okay.
At the current moment, I love One Piece.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Heard of it, definitely.
Yes. I was suggested to watch it.
Okay.
Over 1,000 episodes.
Sheesh, so I can't even, there's no way. I was just gonna ask, I need these like bite-sized, like 10 episodes, maybe 2 seasons.
Yeah.
You said over 1,000? Jesus Christ.
It's one of the longest running animes
Wow.
ever. I was suggested to watch it,
Okay.
and it was like during COVID time.
Okay.
And I was just like, you know what? I'm furloughed right now. I don't have anything to do, so I guess I'll just binge watch as much as I can.
the time to catch up.
This is the time to catch up. And I fell in love instantly.
Dang. Every time I talk to someone who's into anime, I'm always like reminded of me needing and wanting to get back into it. I've only seen, let's see, Dragon Ball Z in its entirety, which that's what, you know, got me into it like in high school and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then, let's see, Death Note. Have you seen that?
Yes.
I think everyone who watches anime has seen that, right? Probably. Like
see?
most people, maybe, right? Okay.
lot of people.
A lot of people. That was incredible and psychological and scary and weird.
Yes.
Remember how the one guy, I forget the names, but he was always sitting on the chair
Yes.
with his feet on the chair, just like sitting that, like the Nemesis guy. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. It was like years ago since I've seen it. And then One Punch Man, I've seen the first season of, which was also quite good. But there's been several that people have said like,
His overpowers. Insane.
yeah, like top tier. That's really, really cool. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, thank you.
I truly enjoyed finally making this happen. And I'm gonna enjoy editing this.
Yay!
And like I said, like making this like a special, special thing. We'll do a U-turn here, actually.
Okay.
And I'll bring you back to the street side, yeah.
Yes.
Cool. But yeah, this is good. This is really good stuff. And that's one of the things, like with social media, I have like a love-hate sort of thing that I'm
Yes.
sure maybe a lot of people do. Like, I'm aware of the negative aspects of what social media does, and I've listened to enough podcasts and watched enough documentaries about it. However, there's, especially in my line of work, with like connecting with people and being, creative and sharing what we do and stuff, there's something that like we wouldn't have been able to meet, and me and other people who I've had on most people who I've had on my platform, who I've met through Instagram, right, essentially, and through online, having common interests and stuff. So I'm just, I'm appreciative of the fact that it exists to be able to connect people and, that type of thing.
Yes, absolutely. I've had that relationship with social media, I guess. I wouldn't call myself an influencer. I wouldn't call myself like, I don't really put a title to what I display on my social media.
Sure.
All I know is I want to spread good. But I
Yeah.
also want to share the fact that like, hey, I'm also, even though I have all these many skills and all these many traits,
Yeah.
that I'm still just a regular person who goes through as many emotions as a regular person
Sure.
would, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And when I do post on the days when I do have like a little bad day or just like, just an off day in general, people are just like, oh wow, like, I wouldn't have imagined you being this type or feeling these type of emotions, but I'm just like, you know what? It's a thing,
These are the ones that
People,
really resonate.
You don't just have to display all your good things. Like if
Yeah.
you have a message to say, or like there are people who are watching me in that sense, low key. Why not share it?
Yeah, 100%.
If I can help a person,
Right.
I would.
Right.
I guess that's just how I see things.
It's a great point. I mean, that's even a reminder for me. It's like we hear about one of the aspects of social media that is so negative is the fact that there is so much like premeditated positivity exclusively that's shared, and not enough of the fact that, like you just said, like some days you wake up in the morning, no matter what your line of work is, like even with me, like people, friends and family look at me and, you know, let's see, they acknowledge the fact that, wow, you know, Kevin is doing, he took that plunge and he's doing something, he's doing, hey, no problem. No problem. You're in the video now though. Okay, I'll tag you. Okay. But yeah, just seeing what I do and realizing that even like as an entrepreneur, like one of the things now with doing this stuff for 3 years that I realized about myself is I love connecting with people, right? As you can probably see. And, you know, sometimes I'm not able to do that nearly as often as when I was a teacher or when I was working for Verizon or something. So I'm sort of acknowledging and grateful for this season of being able to do this. This is also like good for me as well as the person that I'm interviewing. That's like I'm able to, you know, connect with someone, and I appreciate it. That's why I want to like continue doing this, and yeah, I'm in I think a good place with that, you know.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Oh yes, and I feel like I've come to terms with, like, I'm not saying I'm older, but you know, being in my 30s now, it's just I have a better grasp of who I am, and
Sure.
that level of confidence is just more within me now, knowing what I can do for my community and what I can do, like, you know, for myself as well. And it's nice. I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good where I'm at life right now.
That's
nice.
awesome.
It took a while to get here.
For sure, yeah, like the journey to get you to where you are right now. And I love what you said even inside about, like, you know, people say, where do you see yourself in 2 years and year? Like there's positivity is a good aspect to kind of having a plan. People say if you don't know where you're trying to get to, then how are you going to know how to get there, et cetera, et cetera. But there's also something to be said about what you described inside, which is that you know where you're at right now, and you acknowledge the fact that you sort of go with the flow.
Yes.
And how are you? And that's important too, you know, rather because, yeah, for the obvious reasons, I think that's definitely important. Let's talk about music.
Yes.
So if you were to go to, and we'll end with this question.
Okay.
If you were to go to a dream concert of yours where 5 artists, let's say spanning all time, are performing, what 5 artists do you want to see?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll definitely love seeing Lauryn Hill live.
Ooh, sweet.
The Jersey and me, I have a little rock. We like a little rock music. I gotta see Paramore.
Nice. Okay.
Let's see. We got the R&B. We got the rock. Sorry. Lauryn Hill, Paramore, Rihanna. She'll put on a good show.
Yep.
Who else? Let me think.
Oh, Rihanna was amazing in concert. I saw her and Eminem together.
Oh,
that was a crazy tour.
That'd be cool.
Uh-huh.
Let's see who I haven't seen yet. I would like to see Kendrick.
Yeah.
Kendrick live.
Awesome.
Who else? Let me give something random.
Okay.
I'll go see the Bee Gees.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, just because of my childhood.
Yeah.
With my family and everything. That's like, you know, Sunday music.
Wow. Yeah.
At home with the windows up.
That's
breeze coming in.
Nostalgia with the, I'm not going to remember the name of it, but the stew that you talked about, having that for, like, what's the name again?
Sinigang.
Sinigang.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a dope lineup. I like that.
Yeah.
And it's diverse. I like how you thought about it meticulously and said, I want to have a little bit of everything sprinkled in there, you know? A little bit of everything.
Absolutely.
Have you ever dabbled in like music or anything, like creating, or have you ever had an interest in any of that?
I did play the clarinet for almost 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
very cool. All right.
I was also, you know, a little band geek growing up in high school.
You said a little band, band geek. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
10 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I do enjoy classical music too, as well. Like,
yeah.
I honestly am not a picky person when it comes to music.
Whatever sounds good, whatever's like the vibe.
What it resonates.
No matter, That's when people say what music, like I clearly listen to majority hip hop.
Yeah.
Like in my car or whatever, but just generally speaking, like right now I'm learning Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven, and like as soon as I get home, I'm gonna like continue practicing that. I absolutely love. And here's the story. I was asking my piano instructor, because I give lessons, but I'm taking lessons now for the past several months, which has been transformative for me, if I may say. It's been so good. But I was like, isn't it really amazing that this song, like, it transcends time, and the fact that this person was around hundreds of years ago. And I was like, I wonder, when he was making this, do you think that he knew that this was gonna be like a masterpiece that over centuries? And I need to read more about this and learn about it, but she basically said that he kind of was poor, and this song, so you know about this, this song was like nowhere near, like he had no idea that it was gonna be at this level. And to me, as someone who makes music, it's a little bit, I mean, he has a deep and strong legacy, of course, but it is a little bit sad, right? Knowing that he worked on this, and like that millions of people work on this song like every day and stuff now. It just makes you think a little bit, right? Like the legacy you leave, but he had no idea of it. Like had me in my feelings the other day. I was like, dang, that that would be cool for him to have known, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Not the way life works, though, right? Unfortunately.
But fortunately. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy how like the greatest of masterpieces in terms of art, music, like derive from somebody going through something, but who knows?
Yeah. And that is one of my biggest goals, like, is making positive impacts, right? So if anyone watches this, maybe there's a young lady or young man who maybe wants to get into being a flight attendant, or like thought about it, and maybe there's not a lot of organic, genuine content about just having a conversation with a year-long flight attendant. Like, that would be awesome for one person, you know what I'm saying, to find this. So it's up to me to, like, make sure that I do it and then make it findable, like that type of thing. So I really appreciate you taking the time out. I'm gonna give you a high five if I can. I don't freaking know how this is gonna be. There we go.
Here we go.
Thanks so much, my friend. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Of course.
All right, here we are. I'm a touch of New Jersey.
Let's go. So first and foremost, how you doing today?
Feeling great.
Doing
Sun's
good?
out. It's not raining, so I can't complain.
There you go. Hot out, but we can't complain about it being a little too hot, right? That's not a bad thing.
I love the heat.
For sure. So the first question that thank you, ma'am, that I have for you is,